Introducing your hosts from Collingwood, Ontario, Canada, Jack Edwards, and his partner from Dallas, Texas, by way of Port Arthur, Texas, Big George. Together, they are the North-South Connection.
Where are we?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, hold on one sec, boys. I'm having some issues here. Are we there?
Pop-ups whooping your ass, ain't they?
Yeah, I know they are. I will be, boys. You guys get it started. I'll be back in 1 second. All right.
All right. No, you definitely can come back when you feel. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We starting out tonight with the 5 count. Of course, I am Big George as usual. Special guest in the building tonight. We got my man Cris Style from the Cris Style podcast. How you doing, Chris? What's going on?
What's going on, George? How you doing, brother?
You know, it's a nice Tuesday in Dallas.
Right.
A lot colder than what I would expect any other Tuesday to be. But you know, as you can see, I'm perfect. You know, I'm perfectly built for this weather. All I gotta do is put on a sweater and I'm fine.
You good?
So you know, right now I'm perfect. But at the same time, I know everybody's not too happy about the cold weather out here. Out there in Vegas, I heard it's cold too. So you know,
it's cold out here. It's not, Kansas City, Dallas, Toronto, or Vancouver, wherever John is at. Weather.
John, hold on, John, who will be back in a few minutes. He has some technical difficulties, but at the same time, John is up there with, he sent me a picture the other day of what it looked like around his house. Ain't nobody got no grass. So I'm gonna tell you right now, it's ugly. Like the street white.
I can't.
They ain't got black lines. The street white right now. So I'm not envious of that situation. Yeah, speaking of the abominable Snow John himself, here he goes.
Back in, baby.
Back in the saddle. Like I say, we here to talk, a little bit of wrestling as usual. Like I say, Chris is gonna be here to moderate and mediate between the argument that is today's topic. And you know what? John keep leaving. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he got one more time to leave and be disrespectful like this before I say something. This time he ain't say nothing. Like it's like somebody hanging up the phone on you before you actually say bye.
Maybe the call drop. Maybe the call drop. That's what it was.
Maybe the call drop. You know what?
The weather is bad. The weather is
horrible up there. So I didn't know I was gonna be able to do the show tonight, but I know for a fact, like he was telling me how bad it was. Look,
the snow doesn't like me tonight. I don't know why. It doesn't like me.
We just said that. We literally just said that.
Jesus. I had to make I had to make a change. We weren't streaming to X. I'm not sure why. We should be soon. So I have no idea. So I have to step out to make a change that I will. But sorry for all the confusion.
It's all good, bro.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I think the weather this time of year has definitely done a lot of damage as far as putting people behind the 8-ball a little bit. So, you got to do.
It looks like an 8-ball outside. I'll tell you that.
Hey, you know what? I don't know anybody who knows more Coke references than John. I'm gonna be totally honest.
Coke references
I don't.
John
this man knows all of. It almost makes me question who this man be hanging out with off camera. But that's not my business. We gonna keep going with what we go with.
You know who I hang out with, and believe me. Yeah, I don't know. So everyone's got to have a specialty, right? So
absolutely. But
to be on point though, they really do be on point,
and they perfectly timed. I will say that perfectly timed. But yeah, no. Right now, we definitely want to make a little bit of a splash this week. Wrestling season is definitely in full swing. We got the Elimination Chamber coming up. We got elimination finals, matches and stuff coming up. So we definitely got a little bit of heat to kind of talk about with this Elimination Chamber. Is anybody looking forward to anything in the Elimination Chamber right
now? Just how John Cena is going to win it all.
He should have won the Rumble.
Hey, I know he was going to win the Rumble. I knew he was going to win the Rumble, but I know he's going to win the elimination. I feel like he's going to win the Elimination I think he's going to be the first one to enter. If they do it right, he should be the first one to enter in the ring and last the longest. And whoever he pins, he should pin CM Punk. That's who he should pin. That's how you
See, that's the thing, man. Look, I feel like they're gonna rekindle that rivalry for his last run. Or they're gonna try to rekindle certain rivalries for his last run.
Because they already said they want Cody and John Cena.
Right. And I can see that happen. I can also see him having a little spat with CM Punk during certain pay-per-views. Like if he works every pay-per-view that he needs to work, like WrestleMania, what if he just so happens to kind of live out all the best rivalries that he had? Like in Elimination Chamber, he'll do CM Punk. Or in WrestleMania, he'll probably do potentially The Rock or something like that, or Cody, or whatever they decide to do in that particular moment. But I can see him trying to live out that last year to be the best year to kind of cap it all off, to have a storyline after it. So I'm not opposed to it, but I can see that.
Not to cut you off, John, but there's a rumor that they were supposed to have. They're supposed to have a pay-per-view for him called Ruthless Aggression. So I don't know. That's what they say. At the end of the year, it's supposed to be a pay-per-view for him, and I guess that's going to be where his last match is going to be.
Him against Kali. That's what it's going to be.
First of all, those matches. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Those matches between him and Kali were hilarious. Yeah, because I'm like,
he was terrible.
The only one moving is John Cena.
He was terrible.
It's John Cena versus a pole. Like it was very wild and very like
they try to make him a thing, but
you know what? It started off. I'm not to go off, of what we're actually talking about here today, but we talk wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. This is
for sure.
So you kind of have to understand, like some of these topics actually get to, where we think about some of the things that have happened in wrestling yesteryear. The Great Khali, great guy, never taken away from his character. In the ring, I don't know, man. Like
he was funky, he was clumsy.
He was clumsy. He was big.
He was the drizzling shits. That's what he was. He was the drizzling shits. I mean,
he had no coordination. Like it was almost he was not coordinated. He had the one thing, like in football, they teach us when we're young, you can't teach certain things. Of course, you can't
teach big.
You can't teach big, and you can't buy that everywhere. So he had that one thing that everybody else couldn't sell, and he had a hard face just enough to be like, oh, he can be the perfect heel. It's just that from his waist down, he wasn't worth a damn.
It hurt my knees to watch him walk to the ring. Yeah, every time it's just brutal.
Yeah, he was bad. And it's funny because in the longest yard, he didn't look nothing like that. Like he looked like he was kind of agile and he could move
he looked like he could
and he was a little bigger in the longest yard. Yeah. Like, he got into the WWE, he kind of like his body kind of got the dad bod going. I don't know. It's
like he was a dad bod version of himself. So yeah,
biggest dad bod in the world. Holy.
Yeah, I was like it was nuts. Like I enjoyed him, but he wasn't the best.
So I said to George, I have an idea for Elimination Chamber. I don't know if it's going to be Cena. And the only reason I say that is that because I think they always like to have the good story to go off WrestleMania, and it could be Cena, it might be, but I'm just throwing shit out there. So I think they're going to have the good story with Jey Uso. I think it's going to be he'll beat Gunther and and everyone's happy. I still think it's going to be Orton versus Cena at WrestleMania. I just don't think they'll put Cena in with Cody when you have Punk. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just still think there's other. I still don't think that I think it could be Punk, but I would love to see Cena and Orton at Mania. I think that'd fit. But if it's Cena,
I wouldn't be mad at it.
If it's Cena and Cody, I'm not going to be disappointed at all.
Not at all. But you kind of gotta plan to see that the Homelander Cody is coming.
Yes, Homelander Cody, you can definitely see that's kind of scratching the surface back there. You got that itch, like I'm about to fuck something up, and y'all think I'm controlling.
You saw a little bit of it against Kevin.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what it reminds me of? And John, you'll like this, but it kind of reminds me of Ric Flair in a sense of the well-dressed motherfucker who you don't want to come out the suit. And I think the business kind of misses that. because there is no stand-up guy who looks really good who's a heel. Like I do kind of miss that. You remember them days where Batista was like a heel, but he would come in dressed to the T, and then be like, "Yeah, nah, I don't talk to you." Like it's that you kind of miss that. So I don't see that being a bad thing. I just see that being something that's could potentially happen in the near future. So I like the idea.
And plus, Cody's character is kind of running stale right now. Like he needs to switch it
Yeah,
just a little, just tinker it a little bit. Just
it would a change would be nice. But listen, I don't care whatever happens to elimination chambers. One thing, let's get to a little bit of talk. We could, like Chris, you said, we could talk an hour. But for me, the best wrestler in the world right now is Jacob Fatu. And I've said this.
Preach.
I've said this. He is like, and one of the reasons is like I was told a story years ago by a guy about when this wrestler who's working on the Indies had a gimmick, and Terry Taylor went up to him. So, what do you do in the ring to emphasize that gimmick? He's like, "Oh, I just wrestle normal." He's like, "Well, that's not it. Like, if you're going to be like the Undertaker, you kind of have to wrestle like an Undertaker would be." Yeah. They call him the Samoan Werewolf, and he wrestles like it, and he looks like it, and he talks like it, and just everything about him is so raw and real, and it's like he's a ridiculous athlete, just ridiculous. So, and I look at him, and I'm just like, if you put the belt on him now, like I said to George, I'm like, you could see him on the red carpet in the ESPY sit next to like fucking somebody, or you could see him with the hanging out with the rap artists, and like he's got that raw charisma, I think, and he's just what a talent. So
it's funny. I saw an interview with him, and he was talking about when he was in MLW before he came over.
Yeah.
And when he first started, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to cut a promo like how the standard promo is.
Yeah.
And he said when he was cutting it, he said MJF came in there and was like, "Hey, like, just be you, dog. Like, you ain't gotta do all this extras. Like, just be you, man. You got it. You already got it. Just be you." And he said he took that with him for the rest of his life. Like, she was like, so but yeah. Jacob is amazing. The man on Friday in the triple threat match, he did. Damian Priest was trying to do the little Undertaker toe walk. He slammed him off of that. Did a suicide dive. Got on the top rope and did a swanton bomb. That's all I got to say, man. Like, give the man the belt right now. I don't care. Take the money. I don't care. Put him on every match. I don't care. Him and Braun Breaker.
Just put him and Braun Breaker out there.
Him and Khali, fuck it, do it. I mean, what the hell?
Hey, man, I don't care. He can Samoan drive him by 20 times. I love it.
Every minute. It's like, for me, Jacob Fatu is like the best version of the Samoans right now, if that makes sense. And it's not any disrespect to Jay, any disrespect to Roman, any disrespect to anybody. I feel like there's a certain level of Samoan that we miss, and Jacob's giving us that. He's given us Haku. He's given us the Wild Samoans. He's given us
Umaga.
He's given us that. So, and then he has a little bit more personality. So he's given us that, and he's given us himself too. It's not just they're who my people are, so I'm gonna come in and be like them. Nah, he's giving us that attitude. Like, you fear Samoans.
The attitude.
Like, his fear this man when he walk out. His promo game is crazy. He could walk to the ring, and I'm like, man, cut his mic off. If I'm in the ring waiting on him, cut his mic off. Forget that. He ain't talking to me when he come out here like that. Nah, you ain't gonna disrespect me. But at the same time, he really has a personality about him that actually just draws the crowd to him. Like, he could be in the ring with anybody, and it's all about him. No matter who he's in there with, it could be anybody else's favorite.
He was in there with Cody, and they was going crazy in the crowd.
Crazy.
Like, he was the face.
Like, I really need Cody to go ahead and flip the script and become that heel champion so he can get some of that heat back on. Because that'd be great. Like, if he was a heel champion, like, and then he started spitting in people's faces, not necessarily in the the literal sense, but like,
I know,
really getting in it. Like, when he was now, no bull, his run in AEW. People don't talk about it enough because it's AEW. But that's what Cody was actually really shining before he got back to being able to be in the role that he is in today. Like, so
that kind of killed him in AEW because everybody wanted him to be heel in AEW because he was like he would like flirt with it, but it was like just go ahead and turn,
and
man.
the thing is, he would never turn fully.
No, here's the thing though about Cody turning heel though, is that like it's all about money, and there's a reason John Cena never turned heel because he like all those kids. You watch all those kids with the Cody belts. It's like they have to do it at the right time, but he'd definitely be able to do it. But like you were saying, George, like Jacob Fatu he's the best combination. Like he's got all those great traits that all the Simone's had, plus this charisma that you just can't teach. And I mean, I think next to him is Braun Breaker. Like to me, that's the match that's WrestleMania next year for me. That should be WrestleMania because those two guys are just, Breaker's a stud. And again, another guy who's you could tell he's got it in his blood. So, and Obafemi, I think, is another one. That people don't look like him. Like that's the thing. He's enormous.
Whoever told him to use his African, I don't know if you ever heard his regular voice, but whoever told him to use that African voice, they were smart. Because you wouldn't. I
didn't even know if it's.
You wouldn't even feel the same way if you heard his regular voice. Now you wouldn't even feel the same way.
Does he have an accent regularly?
No, he talks like a
regular
like you
dude. He talks more like you than me, but he talks like you, John. A regular ass person, and then he can turn it on when that camera come on.
So whoever told him to put that, because that African it's believable and it makes him more menacing.
It was
when he
so
talks in his regular voice. It's like
you don't do half the shit you really do. like you know what? I can call your goddamn bluff, but he sells it in the ring. So I can honestly say it ain't just a voice.
No, it's not. It's not just a voice.
It's definitely not just a voice. He's definitely one of those primetime players that whenever he gets to the main roster, watch out. Watch all the big names, kind of look at him. I want to see, everybody's looking for that debut. I love a good debut. Who doesn't? But I'm waiting for the climb back, if there is one, because it could be a point where he goes up so high and never falls off. Or he goes up so high and he falls off and he has to climb back. Like I'm interested to see how that works. But a character like that has all the potential in the world to stay exactly where you put him in the beginning. So, I love him.
Plus, he's like, I mean, I always say that sometimes in wrestling, it's not as much to say, you got to be larger than life, and he's bigger than life. Like he is massive. He's but athletic and has the whole package. And he won't get there as fast as the other guys because I think he's still got time. But he's gonna get there, and he's just like because you can't, like you can't deny that guy. Like even the accent, I thought it was legit. I'm like, I didn't realize. I haven't really, I was like, he's very good. So good on him. I mean,
he is. No, he's legit. He's definitely a superstar in the future for sure.
Yeah, but he's legit Nigerian though, right? He's legit.
Yeah, no, he's probably his parents are probably like they came over and he.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's not like he's just using it.
He's not from Wisconsin.
Because I think he played football. I think he played football. So
okay,
he did play football, but I don't know where.
I think he played in college somewhere, but he was pretty decent. But and then he went to the store. Most of them they don't make it. They don't make it to the NFL, so they go to pro wrestling.
Yeah, he's where did he play football? He's 6'6", 310, and he was born in Nigeria.
Oh, well, he probably
he was a track star.
No, okay. Oh, that's
University.
Right. He did
shot put.
Yep. That's what he did.
Well, I mean, Jesus, of course he could throw a shot. So, like, again, an incredible athlete who's just. And speaking of that, I want to talk about. I watched the LFG, the Legends and Future Greats, and I admitted I went in wanting to hate it. But what got me to watch it was the thing about Bubba Ray when he went after that kid. And so I watched it, and it was. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of like really detailed tips that they gave some of the folks that I was like, it was more old school or old head, as the people on Twitter like to say. But like Mickey James had one, and that was right on point. And and I love Bubba. I like because I've been in a pro wrestling locker room before, and I mean we have a guy who's like a Bubba, who's very blunt and very to the point, who's gonna protect the business, and
give it to you straight.
kind of go, yeah, and give it to you straight. And I mean, Bubba does that, and is Bubba a dick? Some people probably think so, but I mean, he loves the business, and it's been his life for like 30 years, and people are like, how could he be such an asshole? It's like, it's his life's work. This is what he's done. This is the job he's had since he was whatever. And he's not going to come in and just let anybody just, put the boots to it or walk in and think they're going to get a free ride. So I like that part about it, but they picked good coaches. Booker T obviously is there. So he's got the fountains of knowledge, and they did a pretty good job critiquing people. And you get people who have been in the performance center type thing for like, some people are like 1 week, like Evander Holyfield's son is on it. And then you get people who've been there for like 2 years. So it's, I thought it was a good show. I actually enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, I saw the chick P Nasty that everybody was talking about, and she cut a pretty good, but they loved her promo for sure. Eventually she's gonna have to steer because they're gonna give her Jacob Fatu comparisons. They've already have, but I'm just saying, she's Samoan.
Yeah,
she talks like how they talk, but I'm interested to see how they use her once she gets on NXT or whatever. And then I saw the one with the black guy where they was like, oh, you don't sound like you from the streets. Booker T was like, I'm from the streets. Like, you don't sound like you from the streets. Like,
when he said that, I was just like, in my mind, you letting Booker T tell you how to be from the streets? I'm gonna be honest, Booker T ain't been in the streets in a long ass time, and he shouldn't have been in the streets if he was. But like, that should let you know how streets you not.
But like, one thing I will say is Booker T, he gets down.
Oh, I can guarantee it.
As Batista,
I can guarantee it. Oh no, we ain't gotta ask nobody. We already know how strong them roots go. But that's just how that bowls out. I think,
but he, like, he's not going to forget where he comes from. I mean, that's still in him. Like, he's still got that.
Absolutely.
That he can still turn on if he wants to. That's for sure. But
plus he has his own, school, or his own wrestling thing, reality wrestling. So, he works with young guys every day. So he probably knows, like, he could tell them, like, hey, you don't look believable to me, like, so.
Yeah, although I think that Bubba trained people for a while, and I think Booker did. I don't know if Mickey James has. I'm not sure, but I mean, and Undertaker's Undertaker. So I mean, what are no. But there was the women's match they had though. They like two of them compete in a match type thing, and it's the women's match they had. I forget her name, but she was an Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling. And I tell you what, like, Undertaker was like, how many matches she had? And he's like, she's been here X amount. He's like, yeah, he's like, she has instincts. They both had very easy, and he could tell these things. And I mean, and she was outstanding. Like, just, you could tell athletically. I forget her name, but she was incredible. And she's Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. I mean, so one thing I do like is that, like, we had Tornado in here a while ago, and Tornado likes, he always has the thing about who you get. What are you looking for if you want somebody to get into wrestling? And he's like, be an athlete. Be somebody who's been in, like, played football, played basketball, played hockey, whatever the hell. There's different athletes. I think it's important, and less than maybe the 122-pound archer or something like that. But I think. Oh, my mic is muffled. Sorry. How am I sounding?
You sound a little better now.
You sound like John. Change your voice.
I don't sound like Obafemi, I guess.
Okay, now you better.
Now you're back. You're back.
Yeah, you're back. Go ahead.
So yeah, it was a good show. But we mentioned about football, so that's a good transition for tonight, because as you could tell by Chris's hat, my cup, and the banner behind Chris. We are all big football fans. We're all Chiefs fans. We're still going to be Chiefs fans.
Of course.
That doesn't change. But we love football, and I miss football because the UFL hasn't started yet.
Right.
And so George and I came up with this idea that we're going to put together kind of a football team based on wrestlers who used to play football, because so many guys, some of the best wrestlers of all time, played football at one point or another. And so the way this is going to work, I think, is Chris is the commissioner, so he's kind of going to oversee some of the discussion. He's Roger Goodell today. He's going to be, but Chris is going to. We each have kind of 5 position groups. So quarterback, running back, and wide receiver, linebacker and defensive back, offensive line / tight end, but more offensive line, and defensive line. Chris is going to pick the trenches for us. So Chris is going to pick our offensive defensive linemen for both teams. And then George and I are going to pick the quarterback, wide receiver, and running back. And this is kind of based on A, who played what wrestlers paid those positions, and B, like kind of their, a little bit of their football career, not as much their wrestling career, but I think a lot of the names you'll know. George, did I hit all the points? Did I get it right there?
No, that's perfect. I mean, we definitely want to kind of, like I say, highlight some of the football playing aspect of these people's careers. Like, so it won't be those superstars who you think should be up here in this position. Like, I think that would be kind of typical. So I had to put a little bit of a spin on it. Of course, we definitely want to kind of use some people that actually play these positions in a sense. Right. So I definitely know that there's some, really good folks that kind of start off this kind of real big football career outside of wrestling. And I know like everybody can't always be the best football player in the world, like y'all say. So some of these guys had better, football careers than they did wrestling careers. And then of course there's some guys on here, like John said, you'll know right off the rip. So and then you probably learn a little bit more about their football career today.
All right. So we'll move this around, but we're going to, George, I'll let you kick it off. Like, who's your quarterback? We'll start with the quarterbacks. We'll see.
Nah. See,
no,
I let you do this. I let you do this very often.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with running backs, and he's not going to be a traditional running back today because, of course, I wanted to go a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with the fullback.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with my fullback to start with. Hold on. And I did some digging to kind of figure this one out because I wanted y'all to understand, like, some of these wrestlers really have never been said on here. Bronco Nagurski.
Oh my God, he was on my list. Bronco Nagurski.
Yeah.
Who is a Canadian, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
He is. And
I knew you'd
Bronco,
appreciate this.
I did. I appreciate the research. Bronco Nagurski was in like the 30s or something. He played, I think, but he was a big guy. He was a referee and a big bigwig in the world class office in Dallas. He had a real Dallas connection. Bronco Nagurski.
Bronco Nagurski actually played fullback, offensive tackle, and defensive tackle.
Yeah.
He was a all-around guy, but I'm putting him at my running back position because, of course, I want somebody who's going to bruise a little bit back there. I want somebody who can take a hit and give one. So, start off my running back, draft him first overall. Bronco, get your ass in the locker room. Let's go.
So, Bronco's there. Okay, well, I'll pick my running back out of Kennesaw State University, Braun Breaker.
Okay.
You want to talk about a bruiser? There it is.
Braun Breaker is
a monster.
Everybody else on this camera right now really would love Jacob Fatu. I love him too. Gave me spoils, as y'all seen.
Yeah.
But me and Braun Breaker, it's something about a Steiner. It's something about that Steiner blood that runs through that man's body that makes me know that his entire career is going to be fucking crazy from the start to the finish. It won't be a drop off because his last name got something in it that goes, I need to fuck something up. So I love it. I love Braun Breaker. I love the pick.
And he's a perfect combination kind of his dad and his uncle.
Yeah.
Like he's and way better. And like as like, I don't know if there's been like, if you watch Scott Steiner when he was younger doing the Frankensteiner, and I'm like, he was like 6'2", 255, 260. He was a freak athlete. Like when he talks about being the freak, he was. And Braun's got that. So I had to pick Braun. So we went with running back. So next up, Chris, you're going to kick it off. We'll go with the O-line. Kick it off. Team George. Who's on the O-line for Team George? Who's your offensive lineman?
Kansas City's own.
Oh.
Northwest Missouri State.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Good pick.
He played for the Colts and he played for the Arizona
Cardinals. Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Had to represent that. He's a big Chiefs fan too, people. So
yeah, you gotta give Baron Corbin he is a Chiefs fan, so it's got to be on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Next up there, Chris. Who else on the O line?
All right, John. I got Moose for you, man. Moose.
Oh man,
he was a part of the Syracuse offensive line. They were a very good offensive line for Syracuse. They had 2 800-yard rushers under his tenure. So, and he played a little bit of professional too. I think he played for the Vikings, but he was a very good offensive line in college. So I went with Moose.
Moose, I dig it. Awesome. So here I find we have 3 more modern wrestlers, and then Bronco Nagurski, which is hilarious to me.
Hey. You gotta see how it kind of all unfolds. I mean, it didn't necessarily always gonna look like a big list of people sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
You definitely got to dig deep.
So, George, what's next? Where are we picking? Linebacker, DB, QB?
Let's go DB. Who do you have at your DB position? I think.
Well, I don't have a linebacker. Well, I have a linebacker, and my linebacker is going to be Monty Brown.
Oh, I had him on my list too.
I don't need you that hype, Chris.
I'm sorry.
I don't. You way too hype to be on his side.
Saying, right Monty Brown, he holds a special place in my heart too.
I know that Pounce.
No,
that Pounce was the
and
craziest.
The promo game wasn't bad either.
He was good. He was good, and then he just left.
Yeah. Well, he had his sister had passed away.
His sister,
He had to take care of the kids and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I hated that they called him Marcus Corvon. I mean,
terrible.
It was stupid. Monty Brown's such a good name. Monty Brown played for the Patriots and the Bills.
Right. I remember when he played for the Patriots. I do remember when he played.
Yeah, he was a good football player. Obviously,
he was. Yeah.
Monty Brown, my linebacker.
Your linebacker is good. I can't be mad about that because linebackers are a dime a dozen, but not in the not wrestling linebackers.
Yeah.
So my linebacker, he had a pretty illustrious football career. Flying Brian Pillman come to the front. I'm going to go ahead and take him and put him in that spot. Brian Pillman, ladies and gentlemen, was probably one of the best linebackers out of Miami University in Oxford.
Wasn't he more of a nose guard though? But I mean, he was the size of a linebacker. Probably could have played.
He was a linebacker. He played. I mean, just because you put your hand in the dirt, don't mean you always have to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the tackle.
That's fine. So, that's a good. You have to get him on the list somehow.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, he was going. But he's not gonna not be on this list.
And he was a second team All-American to Fridge, because he was a nose guard. He was a second team All-American nose guard to Fridge, and he's like 6 foot, like 225, 230, which is insane. Playing Division I college football.
More of an edge rusher, but they list him at linebacker, but you can see him in the dirt. You can see him going off in coverage. So he did a little bit of everything. And then
he played with the Bengals. He was a special teams guy for the Bengals.
And he also played for the Buffalo Bills.
And the Calgary Stampeders, which is how he became a wrestler.
Yep. So, Brian Pillman as a linebacker, you can't say no because at the same time he's very, very accomplished. So,
all right. Well, that's great, Brian Pillman. So the defensive line, there's a lot of names on this list. Chris probably could have picked from 1,000 people, but Chris, Team George's defensive lineman. Who is it?
See, we could have went with The Rock. We could have went with Roman Reigns.
Please, if he takes who I was gonna take, John, I'm gonna erupt.
But Atlanta's on. Goldberg.
I told you. I told you. Look, when we created this list, I told John, I don't care how, but Bill Goldberg's getting on my defensive line. And he was like, oh, okay, well, Chris is going to pick him. And I knew I liked you, Chris. I knew I had you in my back pocket, my dog. I appreciate you. Air high fives.
I got you, George. I got you.
I got
John too. I got John going to appreciate this.
He can appreciate. Look. He can take what he gonna take. Look, a coach is happy with his pick. That's all I'm saying.
Florida State's on.
Oh yeah,
Ron Simmons, baby.
Yeah,
that's.
I think you did this on purpose.
John was going to appreciate that, man. Come on, that's fruit, man.
Probably the best football player next to Mongo.
Yeah.
Mongo's the best.
I had Mongo down too. I was gonna say Mongo, but I was like, I go with Ron Simmons.
Yeah, I appreciate that. See, like Ron Simmons is like, just because I love the story of like where Barry Switzer's like, what do you got to do to beat Florida State? Like, we got to stop Ron Simmons. Mm-hmm. It's like, I just, if you follow college football like I do, you know that like, Jesus, that guy's a god. And it was a hoss. Like, you watch him play, like you watch videos, he was a monster. Same with Goldberg. Like, Goldberg was an all SEC stud, when he played at Georgia. Just like, so great picks. And also you said The Rock, Roman Reigns, Big Cat Ernie Ladd, the legend.
I had Ernie Ladd on there too. Kansas City Chief legend.
That's right.
Fun fact. Ernie Ladd was actually born in Louisiana, right?
Orange, Texas.
Orange, Texas.
Near you.
Boy, that little corner of the world I'm from has produced so many football players. I'm trying to tell you, from Ernie Ladd to Jamal Charles to what's his name for the Seahawks?
Earl Thomas.
From the linebacker from the Patriots, and now he plays for the Steelers. Landon Roberts. Like, there's a lot of people who come from my area that actually played in the NFL. Deontay Thompson, which was one of my pastor's sons. He played for the Cardinals. It's a lot of talent in that area, but it's just like, man, the league is a dream sometimes. It's really, hey, Texas is different. Like, everybody came from Texas. Texas is a different breed when it comes down to football. Like, I don't disrespect nobody else's football acumen as far as where they come from and what they did and how they used to do it. But
I always look at Texas in football compared. It's like Canada in hockey. Like you mentioned, how many guys came from there. Like the two guys playing on Team Canada right now. The other night, Sidney Crosby passed it to a guy named Nathan McKinnon. Sidney Crosby is one of the best of all time. Nathan McKinnon is an MVP and one of the greatest in the world today. They're both from the same town in Nova Scotia. Like, it's just like, when you eat, sleep, and breathe the game, you're going to produce good talent, and that's it with Texas, right? That's it. So last but not least, this is probably the one that had the most slim pickings, but is quarterback. So George, I know you did your research. I did mine. It was hard. Yeah, I got two names. So if you pick one, I'm picking the other.
Hold on. Well, go ahead, because I only got one. So I need to know if I can't go.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick it. I'll pick it, and I'll my first is gonna be Tully Blanchard.
Okay.
Played at West Texas State, and part of that big group that of wrestlers that played at West Texas State. So I got Tully Blanchard, and I have another. So who do you got, George?
That's Shane Matthews.
Shane Matthews.
He played quarterback.
Okay.
He played for the Florida Gators, Chicago Bears.
Was he a wrestler?
Very, very low light. Like,
okay.
I'm talking about, like, not even good enough to make TV like that. But I was just like,
I got a name. I'll volunteer him. He played at Louisville. Eric Watts.
Eric Watts did play at Louisville.
He was a quarterback at Louisville. Yeah. So you could put him in because he's more of a
known name. Yeah, no, I'll take him.
And he's like, WCW, so.
And you know I love a good WCW.
Yeah, of course.
So like this is a weird exercise, but like you got Eric Watts handing off to Bronco Nagurski and being protected by Baron Corbin. So that's not bad. With Flying Brian and Goldberg on the D line, I got Tully Blanchard at QB with Braun Breaker, Monty Brown, and Ron Simmons. That's a badass. I'll take that. And then Moose.
Moose in there is kind of the wild card because Moose is huge. Like
he's enormous.
Moose is
but Baron Corbin ain't small either.
Baron Corbin,
the
thing is, we're not talking about the Baron Corbin that you saw in WWE because before he got there, he had to slim down to get to where he was. He was me.
Mm-hmm.
He was here, like he was all that.
Bigger than you, George.
My dad, look, and I'm a big dude. Like he got me on the height though. He got me on the height. Like I always tell people, I wish I was 3 inches taller. I swear to God, y'all wouldn't know me. Like I would tell you right now, I'd have blew up and acted like I didn't know nobody. I'm sorry. That's my whole game, goddamn. If I was 3 inches taller. Fuck you guys. I'm going to the league. I don't care ask what or do what. I'm going. I'm gonna walk up and show up. Somebody gonna take me. But nah, that's not
fucking maybe the Chiefs right now. Jesus Christ.
Right
left tackle.
I still got some. Now hold on. I still got a little bit. I got one game in me, and it'll be preseason like a motherfucker. I'm in that motherfucker huffing and puffing. What's the play?
It'll be flag. It'll be flag football. What we talking?
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be sponsored by Gatorade because they gonna see me sip more of that than anything. I'm gonna be on that sideline. Great.
You'll pour the Gatorade jug on yourself.
Hey, I used to be like, no, okay. Honest fat shame moment for myself. I used to be like, bruh, whenever the season's over, I'm gonna drink that Gatorade bath. I used to think that all the time because I wanted to be like, the season's over, I'm gonna just drink the Gatorade bath. But I'll never do it because that's like, bruh, like, come on now. We've been sipping out this all day. Relax. I just was so thirsty at the point I thought about it. But very, very good.
And speaking of Moose, like he and Obafemi had that face off today on NXT, and like they both look enormous. Another guy on the D line was who's one of the reasons why we called the show the 5 count is Big E.
Big E
played at Iowa. You know,
I wonder. Hold on, let me do a little Google search real quick.
Do we add Brock Lesnar to this list?
No, he can't be spoken. I'm sorry.
But it is amazing that dude was the last guy cut in the Minnesota Vikings, and he never played football before.
Right.
Like he was the freakiest of the freak athletes. Like he was like, because I mean, and then you watch him going to USC and just like run over dudes. Like it's like holy crap. But yeah, I don't know about Brock Lesnar, but Bruiser Brody played on the D line. I think he was often Ted DiBiase.
I got some guys who played linebacker at West Alabama. The Usos.
Oh,
that's right. They did.
They definitely did play linebacker.
You know,
they were both big. Big Jim. That's when Big Jim was real Big Jim. So
I like a couple guys. Steve Austin played at North Texas State, and he was a running back in high school. Nick Bockwinkel went to Oklahoma. He was a running back. A linebacker, Butch Reed, another Kansas City guy, played for the Chiefs.
Jack Swagger. Mojo Riley was a linebacker.
Mojo Riley.
Didn't Dr. Death Williams play for somebody?
Oklahoma, 4 years. He was on the offensive line. So like We could have like that offensive defensive line would be insanity.
They got a
That-
slew of them.
I'm gonna tell you right
They got
now.
a slew of
If
them.
we went just O line versus D line,
Yeah.
we'd have had the material.
I'll tell you, these
Because
games are gonna be
everybody.
7-3.
And I'm look, nobody got a kicker. So it's barely gonna get to the 3. We barely gonna get that 3. So hey,
yeah, there's not a lot of receivers in the wrestling business. They
Now,
I don't
if
know
we
many
wanted
kickers
to
either.
kind of play around and make a receivers out of some of the wrestlers,
Hmm.
Kofi
Who-
Kingston or somebody like that.
If I'm getting a receiver and out of the wrestlers that are in there today, my number one receiver would be Montez Ford.
Me too. I was just gonna say.
I agree.
Yeah.
Ford would probably be
Yeah.
the best motherfucking receiver out there. And I'm telling you,
Another
that's just based off of physical ability.
who plays safety, Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin, yeah, he
Trent
played safety back in the
Trent
day.
Williams plays safety also for South Carolina.
I can
Okay.
see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shelton Benjamin played for Minnesota, right? Or did he play at junior college? I know he
Junior
wrestled
college.
in Minnesota. I know he wrestled in Minnesota.
I played junior college football for a little bit, but then switched over.
Who would be the good QB? Like who would make of the wrestlers today? Who would you make your QB?
Cody?
Nah.
Punk. Punk seems like a QB, right? He's kind of got that.
He got that Aaron Rodgers.
He's got.
Hold on. That's exactly who he'd be. You couldn't control that motherfucker. He'd be in the pocket. I'm calling what the fuck I want.
He got good Aaron Rodgers.
All right. If I had to pick
got that QB attitude.
Cody would be Kirk Cousins.
I want my quarterback to be a little bit cocky, but yet knows what he's doing. I want the Matthew Stafford of WWE. Give me a Miz at quarterback.
That's a good one, right?
He is the Matthew Stafford because he takes a licking and keeps on fucking ticking. So, hey, give me the Miz because guess what? My offensive line is consistent of a lot of big guys. I just need somebody risky enough to kind of go out there and be a little bit you got a receiver out there, you fling it to him. He's gonna catch it. Just get it there. And the Miz will get the job done. He's kind of like a Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, somewhere in between there.
What?
You can't get Patrick Mahomes at every turn. I don't think
no.
Patrick Mahomes right now.
There is no Patrick Mahomes.
There is no Patrick Mahomes.
There's no
that was Stone Cold.
You know who probably be Lamar Jackson? Camelo Hayes.
Camelo Hayes talk shit like he could be. I can see that. I could also see
but he'll probably be Stephon Diggs more than Lamar. He'd probably be Stephon Diggs.
He could be a running back too. He'd be a good running back because
he would definitely.
Anybody wants to be Stephon Diggs right now at this very moment, just because of the news. Like I just feel like, hey, if I'm getting caught up, might as well get caught up like that. I guess I don't know if that's what you're doing. That's crazy to me. But
John don't know what we're talking about right
don't have a clue how much ass is riding in Stephon Diggs' car. That's crazy. And you know what? I like it that way. I like that John don't know. And it's not because I don't want to tell him. It's just that it leaves him in that innocence that he needs to
just
be.
Google
Google it if you want.
Just Google it.
And then we'll go from there.
What, just Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
Or Stephon Diggs' ass and car. That might
Both of them might pop up. I don't know. You might see the same video. Yeah. But Stephon Diggs is definitely doing his Big Thug Dizzle shout out.
Oh, he's out with Cardi B.
Yeah.
Right.
Well.
Like Braxton on Jamie Foxx show.
Is he gonna be?
I love it.
So he won't be ready for training camp.
that leg is fucked. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now.
He'll be in Dallas with his brother.
That's what I think. I honestly think he's gonna find his way to Dallas, which would be a perfect move for him. Gives Dallas another receiver, gives him the opportunity to kind of still be an important receiver to a team. I don't think that him in Houston was a bad idea. I just think that it was a filler year.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be a year where he messed up his ACL, which didn't help.
No.
So, and the thing is, in hindsight, and this is kind of what I thought too, how NFL players do sometimes. Sometimes they'll shut themselves down in the season just so they can save themselves for the next move. And in this particular move, I don't think it would have actually benefit him. So that's why I think it's just far-fetched and crazy. But in hindsight, him going to Dallas would be a good move. Him going to Baltimore would be a good move.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know exactly where Stephon Diggs is actually needed to the point where people are willing to pay him that type of money for him.
Nobody
to be
will.
that he wants it. And I'm gonna be honest, like he can go to Jacksonville because
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville is gonna need a receiver or two. So him being a better
they got a
receiver
stud
there,
in Brian Thomas Jr. Like that
and
kid,
they're not paying him next year.
and
They're not paying.
No.
And I think
They're not paying him.
Christian Kirk is definitely getting cut.
Oh, you better believe it. And I think that's where we could potentially go if something.
If Hollywood doesn't come back, I see Christian Kirk.
Bruh,
Even if Hollywood does.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood's not coming back for a lot of money, I don't think. I mean,
and plus you're gonna need another veteran wide receiver because if Rashee Rice is out for how many games he's gonna be out for.
Yeah.
You're gonna need somebody to come in and step up and try to be a little bit of the filler. I'm not saying this is Trav's last year, but if it is Trav's last year,
this is last year. If he comes back,
that's what I'm saying. If he comes back, this would be his last year. But I'm saying, like, I'm not speaking it as, I know for a fact that he's coming back right now, more or less. But I think like right now, if he doesn't come back or he does, I still think that it's a really important move for us to find somebody who's going to be there. Because right now,
this is the draft to draft his heir apparent.
I mean, I think we already tried
in the second round,
but at the same time,
I like Wiley, but there's way more talented guys in this draft.
Yeah, at the tight end position this year,
and you have him to mentor that guy and Wiley.
Like
and
if Colson Loveland is sitting there at 31, you gotta think about it. You gotta think about it.
Hey, let's see. I'm all for late draft picks. So if Gunnar Helm is somewhere,
Gunnar Helm,
if he's in the draft somewhere later on down the line, get
Mason Taylor
in there. Mason Taylor, yes. Mason Taylor, I like.
Look, George, there's another reason why I want Mason Taylor to come to the team. You know why? Because she'll be in the stands.
You need help from somebody in a coat. Like you need help.
They won't just be showing Taylor. They'll be showing Joy Taylor.
You need help, sir. You need. Hold on.
You know I'm telling the truth, George.
You know who you sound like? You sound like her arch nemesis. That peanut butter skin. Those
I'm nothing like Whitworth. I'm nothing like Whitlock.
Whitlock was
ain't nothing like Whitlock.
Crazy, bro. Like I'm thinking to myself, as a dude,
what did he say with those peanut butter breasts or whatever?
Yeah, he was like that peanut butter skin, that big rack of hers. I'm like, first of all, like, dude, like you can't talk about your coworkers like that, bro. She don't even like you like that. And that's not even how you talk about no lady. Like, especially if you don't know her like that, because I know for a fact y'all just worked together. It wasn't even like y'all hung out.
I was like, John, she don't want you.
Like
you didn't have to worry about it. She don't want you.
It's a bad idea.
Listen, I will tell you this right now, though. Like, I didn't realize that was his aunt until now, because I don't pay attention. But now that I know that she is, I agree with Chris 1,000%. We should move up and draft Mason Taylor. Like, move up. Because, like, I don't know why she has anybody else on the shows with her. Just put her on the show. I don't need anyone else.
I want both of y'all. I want both of y'all to rein it in a little bit, fellas.
What?
Wipe your mouth. All right.
She would be a perfect part of Chiefs kingdom. What are you talking about, Joe?
Yeah.
Hold on. So you want Joy Taylor, Xavier Worthy's mom.
Yes.
Taylor Swift.
We ain't talking about Xavier Worthy. George. Chill, man.
You want to talk about everybody?
Go ahead, do everybody. Right there, man.
George, you took it too far.
You know what? This is exactly my life. Every time y'all let me out the box, I do this. Y'all tell me I do it too far. I'm a chill. I'm a chill.
Listen, I'm okay with Xavier Worthy's mom and Joy Taylor and Taylor Swift. You know, I you know,
them to be right
but the
next to
first
each
two
other.
especially,
I want them to be next to each other.
every game,
that
every
camera
game.
shot,
And
the views just keep
they just
going
pan to
up.
them every time.
Every time we don't
Every game.
score, look at the ladies. Look at like, I mean, the game ain't that bad now. I bet y'all would. I bet y'all would.
I
Y'all,
bet you
y'all ain't got
everybody
no self control.
will be back to being a fan favorite again.
Yeah, every you know, we don't need to see Dave Tobe after a good kickoff. Just go to Joy Taylor, Xavier Worthy's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, why do we need Spags? Oh, there's Joy Taylor again. What?
I don't need Spags to hold up the sheet to his mouth so he could hide the plays that he's about to, the blitz that he's about to call on Josh Allen. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't need to know what Andy looks like. I've seen him for 15 years.
See press conferences every month.
Every Monday.
We know.
Monday and Wednesday.
What are we doing here, ladies
Friday.
and gentlemen?
I don't need that.
Show the talent.
Show the real
But
talent.
I do think, yeah, exactly. I do think though that it's in it like us at 31. Like for a long time, I was like they're going to take a tackle. I'm like I don't know if they do. I think they buy. I think they're going to free agent the tackle.
Yeah, I think
somebody.
Either they bring back DJ Humphries or they go get one of those.
Robinson guys.
Yeah, Robinson, Ronnie Staley, or they go with the Alec Jackson kid or damn
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his arms are too short, though. I think that's the thing. I think, I think he's got the smaller arms. And you know how they are, but like you got to have 34 inches more.
You got to have that out there. Right here, you got to have it.
I just don't think, even if they were to trade him, I don't think they want to put that on a rookie.
No, you need a veteran.
And I'm not giving up on Kingsley, man. I think they gave up too early, man. The kid is only like 21. He's young,
yeah, they need a vet though. Like if you're gonna keep him, they need a vet.
Off the line, when you have a rookie who's getting whooped constantly, and in the situation, like I feel like it was really situational.
Yeah,
and y'all could say they gave up on him too early. We're chasing the three-peat from the beginning.
I get it. No,
yeah.
I get it. But you shouldn't have put him in that position.
Right. Yeah. One, that's the main thing. You should have never put him in that position to kind of be that, because you made a second-round pick have to play first-round minutes, and he wasn't ready for that. That's why he wasn't a first-round pick.
And he may get a shot at guard though too. Like he may get the opportunity there. Well, too.
It's not a bad move. It's just for me.
But
it kind of, if y'all put him at guard, that's just y'all putting it, and that's what I'm saying. Like if he gets a guard and he doesn't do well there too, then you just constantly shooting yourself in the foot with a lineman who don't work here, there, or anywhere.
Yeah, but I think he could if Trey doesn't come back. And I love Trey Smith, but I mean, like if he doesn't come, I think he's got a better path right now to success at guard than he would at tackle. Tackle, he's going to have to wait. But I think they need to sign either, like you said, DJ Humphries, which is probably just the easiest thing to do, and then I don't mind Cam Robinson. I mean, somebody who's played tackle in the NFL for a length of time. I think though at 31, like our man Kareem told me, he might be right. Is Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle? I think they need to improve that.
At Oregon,
yeah.
If Walter Nolan is sitting there at 31, push the button. Push the button.
So let me ask y'all a question. I know what we are in the draft. Hypothetically, of course, if you can jump up and get one player, who would it be?
If he's sitting there in the 20s, just for whatever reason.
Right.
I want the cornerback from Texas. I want Jadu Barron.
Ooh,
I want him on the other side of Trent McDuffie, dog. Him and Trent McDuffie? Oh, they locking stuff down, baby. We locking stuff.
You have no worries.
And then
Jalen corners, boy.
Then Watson at the 3 corner. The nigga, man, we good. We good, bro. we back to what L'Jarius Sneed is in. And we locking stuff down.
That is exactly what that would do. What you got, John?
Well, if we're not like hypothetically, of course, Tyler Warren out of Penn State. You want to get the next best tight end? That's the next best tight end.
Look,
like Pat's gonna find him. He's gonna find him. Like
y'all did everything y'all could, like to stop an offense. If y'all can honestly say we don't get another tight end, y'all did everything y'all could. If Travis retires and for whatever reason the Chiefs don't see him to replace him, whatever.
But I think, yeah,
I want that boy out of Penn State, Abdul Carter. Give me him off the edge. Him, George Karlaftis, and Chris Jones.
He'll be gone, but he'll be gone by the third, fourth.
That's what we said hypothetical.
Yeah,
we said hypothetical. Like now you're gonna take my hypothetical and throw that away. Jesus.
Like no. They're like Tyler Warren's gonna be.
Yeah, Tyler Warren, Jadu Barron, they're gonna be gone.
Let
Jadu Barron run a 4.4. It's over. He's out of there.
I want him to pull his hamstring and everybody know about it. This type shit. And they were like, good, get him.
And what about Will Campbell out of LSU?
If he drops, of course.
Like hold on. Will Campbell, I want Will Campbell to get caught smoking a cigarette in a bad area. That's all I need. I need you to be in the BR doing something stupid. And I want him to drop in the draft so bad, bro. Will Carter is Will Campbell is my perfect ideal tackle out of fucking
he's got that
college.
dog in him.
Like the way he plays football is the way I modeled myself playing football when I played. You have to be skilled, you have to understand the play, you have to know exactly where to go, and you got to know how to help out your quarterback. Mm-hmm. The thing about him was he helped extend so many plays just by him being able to manhandle his person for at least 4 to 5 seconds longer than what he had to. And then release off that person and go get somebody else. Mm-hmm. The boy is a monster. Whoever he goes to, I might just buy that jersey because that's how much I like Will Campbell. Like that dude is a dog. Like he makes me feel like, all right, that's what I want to be when I grow up again. Mm-hmm. Like somebody who can manhandle somebody who knows exactly what to do with certain styles. Like he got hit with every type of defensive end this year, and none of them could do anything with him. There was the balanced type, the ones that lean, the ones that are strong, the ones that come straight at you. Will Campbell shut them all down. And I'm like this: if LSU probably could find his professors and have him fail every class so they can get him next year, I'm pretty sure they probably would have. Because
it doesn't matter if he fails class; he's still going to the NFL.
Right, they got to find a way to keep him.
And like Roger Goodell, and it was like, "Would you get an
F?" Roger like, "Oh, you failed math? Shit, me too." What we doing tomorrow? Same type shit. He's ready to go.
See you on Thursday, man.
Right. See you on Thursday at the draft, baby. Wear a suit. All right. Like that dude is
a big hug, man.
Like if quarterbacks are being talked about because they're needed, Will Campbell is not being talked about because he's gone already.
He's gone. He's gone fast.
He's gone already. Like he's a jet or some shit. Like we don't even know.
Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks. Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks are going to be gone. Both.
Yeah, but a lot of if he drops, he fucked up somewhere. Like that's the only reason because he's not making it past the top 5. Somebody's going to take him. And so, but I mean,
because outside the 2 quarterbacks, Cam and Shador, they're going to be gone. Abdul Carter be gone. Mason Graham, the defensive tackle mission, he's out of there. He's out of there. He's out of there. Maybe Troy. Troy's gonna be gone. So or Travis Hunter. He's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Travis Hunter for me is it's important where he goes. Oh, because I feel like the top 10 teams don't all need Travis Hunter.
Jacksonville,
or
Patriots.
No. The Patriots have been hanging their hat on one side of the ball for the last 30 years. And right now, that side of the ball is weak. So Drake May is going to be the quarterback that makes everybody go. Mm-hmm. So you can get Travis Hunter if you decide to put him at cornerback. because they need somebody who can come in there and play with Gonzalez. Bad.
Yeah.
Jabril Peppers is okay.
That would be tough. That'd be a bad.
He's already,
that'd be a matchup nightmare.
They already said Travis is coming in as a DB. So.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's questionable.
That's smart.
Like I say, him going in as DB would be the only way I can see him in the Patriots uniform.
Yeah, he said he's going in as DB.
Because I think the wide receiver thing is cool, but
you could put him in. Now you do need to get some packages for him. Like I ain't saying play him every play, but 3rd and like 12, you gotta put him in the slot.
3rd and a million.
So in my mind, he's like a Devontae Smith, who's not necessarily somebody I would kind of hang my hat on. And I'm not saying Devontae Smith is bad by no means. It's not somebody. He wouldn't be my one.
No, not
Travis.
Not at all.
But Travis is going to be in a situation where he has to go to a team where they need a 1.
Yeah,
and he's not that. And that's why I say those top 10 teams don't necessarily need a Travis Hunter.
I think Travis Hunter could be a 1 if he concentrated on wide receiver.
Wide receiver only. But that's the problem. He's not going to do that.
But
he'll be a corner.
But I think he likes playing corner more than playing wide receiver. That's why
less responsibility. Less responsibility in a sense. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy to play corner by no means.
No,
I'm just saying it's a little
bit
bit
the hardest positions in the league because of the rules.
Boy, you can't touch him here. You can't hold him there. You can't do this. They already know the route, and I got to guess. Bro, I'll play corner for about a game. And after I get like 9 penalties, my coach going to finally get the fucking pitch. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, it's just like corner is a tough position. Like, you have to be smart in predicting what this man potentially could do. And
corner's such a tough position that an entire race of people are never able to do it again.
Hey man, they changing that. Cooper DeJean.
One guy in the last like 30 years, a white dude's played corner. I mean,
all you need is 1, and then look.
Clearly, I'm not playing corner. Like,
but see, you got to think about it now. There's kids right now who watch the Super Bowl and watch that pick 6 happen, and they're like,
"I want to be like Cooper DeJean."
There will be another one. Yeah, and then he shows up at camp and says, "Guess what, kid? Put on weight. You're a linebacker. We're gonna put you at fullback."
Yeah.
Like
he's out there with all the little Xavier Worthy.
Because, like I think Cooper DeJean, like, and it changes. But right now it's like corner is so ridiculously difficult, and I think New England is actually a good place because you mentioned about the packages. Like, I think McDaniels would be able to work him in. Because, like you said, if it's 3rd and 15, it's like, Jesus Christ, we need.
Because even if New England got so much money, if they bring in, and I'm not saying he's going to go there, but let's say they throw some money at T. Higgins. Now you got your number 1 wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? So now you got T. Higgins, you draft Travis Hunter, you got Chris Gonzalez and Travis Hunter on one side.
And this is another reason why I don't see New England getting Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Because Will Campbell will probably be right there. And what do they need more than anything?
Yeah.
Anything.
They do need.
I heard.
Why do you think I'm constantly saying the top 10 teams don't really need a Travis Hunter?
Although
they don't need him.
Money. They got money. They can go after Ronnie Stanley too.
Yeah.
So
I heard too.
Proven vet.
I heard too that there's a rumor about them trading Joe Milton to Seattle for DK Metcalf.
Hey, let me tell you something. Joe Milton,
he's a stud.
If the Raiders were smart, they would call the Patriots tomorrow. Right now. And when I saw that, I know it was week 18. I get it.
You know what they about to do, right? You know what the Raiders about to do.
They're gonna get Aaron Rodgers, man.
No.
Kirk Cousins.
Nope. Russell Wilson. Ugh. Pete Carroll's the head coach.
I hope so. I
take that back. Yeah, bring on Russell Wilson.
They're getting Russell Wilson.
we saw him twice a year with the Broncos.
That makes more sense. Like, who knew how to use Russell Wilson the best out of every coach he ever had? Package Pete. Pete gonna get him a package where
Pete Carroll.
Or they'll get Matthew Stafford.
They're gonna go get and the thing is, getting Matthew Stafford is an actual move. That means you believe in the Raiders a little bit. I don't. I'm not saying that they're going to make a dumbass move, but they're not going to make a move that I trust for longevity.
Wide receiver too.
I believe in them more now that Pete Carroll's head coach. Like, even though he's 73, that was he's not a regular. Andy's what, 63, but he's eaten a lot of cheeseburgers. So, but Pete Carroll is a legitimate, only a few guys have won in college and the pros. So I think he gives them credibility, but
stability for sure.
If I'm the Jets, because they don't want to trade in division on it, but if I'm the Jets, I'm trying to pry Joe Milton of any team that needs a QB. I'm like, because I saw that guy play at Tennessee and watched him play I'm like, my friend's a Patriots fan, and he's like, why is he not the QB?
I was just about to say something. You saying he played at Tennessee. And that was the first thing I thought of when Joe Milton was actually, running around there for the Patriots. His ass can end up in Tennessee in that quarterback battle easily. And I think he would win it.
It shouldn't even be a damn battle because Will Levis is terrible.
We know Will Levis is terrible. We know
but they're taking Cam Ward.
Yeah, they're definitely taking Cam Ward.
They're taking Cam Ward, Tennessee. Okay. But I meant he played at Tennessee, University of Tennessee. Like when he played at Tennessee, I was like,
want to go back? Why wouldn't you want to go? Like most players wouldn't mind playing for a team that's close to where they actually went to college. Nick Bolton went to Missouri, loved being a Chief. You have people who played in Texas who wouldn't mind being a Cowboy. I don't know why, but at the same time, there's always that. So I'm not necessarily saying that this is off the table as far as him going to a team like the Tennessee Titans. And I want you to think about something. The Tennessee Titans have been having the slowest fire sale for the last year. If you can, actually for the last 5 years, it's like they draft good players just to give them away. They're on this whole kick right now to kind of give Jeffrey Simmons away. And I'm thinking to myself,
they trying to give Jeffrey Simmons away?
But the Patriots are, getting Mike Vrabel. So the rumor around the league right now is he's gonna end up playing for Vrabel again.
You got Simmons, you got Devondre Sweat in the middle. Why would you get rid of that?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's gonna happen. But at the same time, if they talking about that, bro, that'd be like
Tennessee legitimately just needs a quarterback.
Bro, they literally have been whiffing on every first
and a receiver
for the last 10 years.
Because I think Calvin Ridley is good. I just think that he had Will Levis throwing him the football.
Hold on.
But they could use another receiver because Traylon Burks. I liked him coming out of Arkansas. I still think he might be a Veach special. Like we might get him on. He might play the Justin Ross role.
I don't want to get him and him end up being the Kelvin Benjamin of the group.
But we need him to be what, a fifth receiver? Like we need him to replace Justin Watson.
Hold on. You saying that?
You don't need him as a number one.
Hold on. You saying that? But the last 3 years, every receiver on the roster has been needed in some capacity because our receivers, for some reason, can't stay healthy, can't stay out of trouble. And then, of course, those receivers that you need at 5, 4, and 6, they need to play.
Which I have a PSA. Xavier Worthy, stay at home with your mama, man. Don't do nothing this house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay at home.
I love you to death, my boy.
Stay at home, man.
Just go to the crib.
Listen, I'll come stay with you if you like, just to make sure everything's okay.
I'm at the door. I'm just making it straight.
He'll be the father figure.
I'm that baby's daddy. I'm the pappy.
Maury said so. Like, what's going on?
John went on Maury. That's my son. Hell no.
He ran a 4. Mr. Edwards. He ran a 4.2. Yes. How do they what did you run? I'm like, well, they time my 40 with the sun. So I mean, by a fucking calendar. So no, I'm not the father of Xavier Worthy. But
I'm the only reason he runs a 4.2. If he was all black, he run a 3.9. So how you explain that? That's how I explain that. God damn it! But I think like I say, those 5 and 4 receivers are extremely important because, of course, we have a quarterback who can air it out. So we're definitely gonna need some people who can catch balls.
We need to get back to that.
Yeah, I have a whole theory on why we don't, but at the same time, I feel like It's because
I think we're
need to be balanced.
I think we're going to get back to that a lot. See, here's the thing, though.
Go ahead, Joe.
I think that Worthy's going to we're not going to get back to it all the time, but if, Worthy's ability to go deep, She Rice's ability to go intermediate. I think if we can get that tight end figured out, I think and a running back. We need a real running back, a real. We talked about who did George Rico Dowdle was one, and then there was somebody else.
Rico Dowdle
I like the
free agent, and then Cam Akers is a free agent.
Cam Akers.
Can I ask you a question? I know he had a horrible leg injury a couple of years ago. He is going to be a year removed from that leg injury, and he's probably going to be a free agent. Nick Chubb.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the injury you talking about, he had that same injury at the beginning of the other season. So hell no. I'm not about to buy it. Look,
if you're buying a name now.
You're buying a name now. You're buying a name now. I always kind of have to tell people that. People be like, oh yeah, X, Y, and Z still got some juice in the legs. Motherfucker, did you see his last game? You have to.
He play for Cleveland though.
He played. Look, so Nick Chubb has played for Cleveland his entire career, right? He's also had an offensive line that was actually amazing a couple years, right?
They were.
So everything after that has been literally downfall after downfall. They signed Deshaun Watson, who was not necessarily panned out as their quarterback. So a lot of the workload ended up on him.
Yeah.
Put a lot of miles on those legs. And I'm not saying that you can't work with him, John. I'm just saying this. I'm not, as a team.
I'm not putting it all on him.
I'm not putting it all on him, but I'm just
he's a third or fourth option.
So this is the thing. You can't just tell me.
Kareem Hunt.
Is he? Hold on. Because guess what? Kareem Hunt just had 900 yards and not played a full season for us.
I'm just saying, George.
And then the last time we seen him have over 700 yards was 3 years ago. I get it in our memory sometimes.
I'm not saying throw the money at him. I'm just saying 1 year, $5 million.
Just saying $5 million. That's a steal for him. That's us actually $5 million for him is $5 million for another running back that we can have playing.
George, when he's playing for the Cowboys and he runs for over 1,400 yards, I'm bringing this conversation back up.
If he plays for the Cowboys and runs for over 1,300 yards, I'm going to play for Cowboys and run for 16. Because guess what? It ain't happening, baby. I'm not saying that because, first of all, Dallas don't have the offensive line to have anybody rush over 1,000. Let's be clear. They keep patchworking it, and it's not working. So I enjoy the idea of bringing in Nick Chubb. I really do. I just don't know. Now,
don't get it twisted. I want one of these running backs from the draft. It's stacked. You know
that's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to give me Nick Chubb and somebody else because I know Nick Chubb ain't the answer. So I would if you look, I won't take Nick Chubb off the table, but if you're going to give me Nick Chubb and whatever else is coming with Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Draft pick, give me another running back that y'all going to have, we're going to have Nick running the 1-2 punch kind of thing, and then we're going to have somebody else come in. I mean, Aaron Jones is a free agent too. So we can go out and get a good pass receiving running back, and we can go out and get, hold on. He heard a lot, but you just told me about Nick Chubb.
He got hurt for the season. I'm talking about Aaron Jones getting nicked up every 2 games, man.
But he's back. He's back in the fucking lineup. What are you saying? What? Oh, okay. But anyway, that's what I'm saying.
I like Cam Akers, 25 years old.
I like
Cam Akers is coming off that injury, the injury that Nick Chubb kind of had. But at the same time, Cam has had a really good year playing behind.
He's younger.
You're right. He had a really good year playing behind Aaron Jones in Minnesota, and I would say that would be something like the role that I would want him to be in if he was to come over.
I wouldn't be mad if they brought, even though I know he was on the IR for 4 weeks, but he probably would have been my comeback player of the year if he had played all games. J.K.
Dobbins. Yeah.
I like J.K.
Same as Nick Chubb. It's the same thing as Nick Chubb, but I mean, I think he would do well.
Because I think he had a hamstring injury or whatever. So
Yeah.
That's why they held him out. They was trying to save him for the playoffs, but
And them hamstrings. The thing about hamstrings is, if you don't work them, they just kind of get tighter. It's like.
But at the end of the day, I want a rookie in there. I want Devin Neal. That's fine. Cam Scatterboo, bring him on. Caleb Johnson. That's fine.
I'd take Alfred Blue.
What's his name? Travarius, any one of the Ohio State running backs.
Travion Henderson.
Yeah.
One of them.
One of them.
Hold on.
And
DJ Giddens. You
know who might be available, but nobody's talking about drafting him. But I'm pretty sure he's going to get drafted by a team, and it's not going to be before the second round. Ashton Gentry. Gentry's not going before the second round. We know this.
Gentry is he? I still have people mocking him to the first round.
Oh, he's going first round.
I don't think so, and I'm gonna tell you why. What running back from Boise or what player from that conference has ranked over anybody in the SEC? And I'm not saying that it will actually matter.
What the draft people say. The draft people say he's going first round, and they say the sky.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love it, but at the same time, I don't think
Dallas. I think he don't get past Dallas.
No,
he should get past Dallas.
Yeah, but Dallas. Yeah, that's that. If he dropped to 31, would you take him? Like, would you?
People are gonna be mad. Chiefs gonna be mad. You took another running back in the first round.
But look what running back we took. I mean,
but no. See, look, I thought I was cool with the Clyde pick because Clyde.
Me too.
I was too.
LSU.
So everybody on this camera right now is already in agreement that we was okay with Clyde at 31 that year.
I was cool with Clyde.
I was great with it. The only thing about it for me was Clyde got hurt after that. That's when his production
hit.
Because his first year, those first 5 games of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, when he played against Buffalo, he was immaculate. He was everything we needed him to be.
Yeah.
The thing is, when he got hurt, his injuries ruined him as far as him being that productive. The thing about Pacheco that everybody likes is that he was exciting, and now he has that injury. So it don't seem like he has that pop like he once had.
I want to see him next year when he's healthy.
Of course.
Let's see him go through camp and. But
I expect Isaiah Pacheco to have a great year because I think it's a contract year.
It's a contract year,
and even if he doesn't get it with the Chiefs, he's going to get it somewhere else.
Yeah. But this is exactly why we need to draft a running back this year.
We do.
But you can get a running back in the second, third round that could be serviceable for you.
There's some guys in this draft that.
See, the thing is,
I'll be
you
mad
can't get everything in the second and third round, man. I don't think we have a whole lot of that we can actually do in the draft that was going to cover everything. So, like I say, when March starts, that's going to be really important to see exactly who we sign, who we don't sign, and who we're actually going to move off from.
I think Justin Reed is gone.
We have Jaden Hicks.
I think Trey is gone. I think the Nick Bolton situation is interesting because if he outprices himself, I think he might be gone. I think Spags wants him back, but if he's trying to ask for like 15, I don't think they're gonna sign him back.
Because here's what I think. I think if he does, I mean, the only person I think Spags would trust more on the Chiefs to be that middle guy than Nick Bolton is Drew Tranquil.
That's what
he makes like $6 million. Leo Chenal's played middle linebacker before, and I think they re-signed Willie Gay. I just think that's a fit. And then you could draft a linebacker as well, or find of course. And because I think they spend they're going to restructure guys like Pat will be restructured next week and save like $30 million or whatever. But I think they know they need to invest in the offense, specifically the left tackle spot, because you can find a guard who can work. You can find a guard easier, So I think
that's why they drafted guards last year. Hunter Norzad, and
he's apparently the front runner. To replace Trey. So. But I don't know if Nick comes back. I don't know if Trey comes back. I think we take some of that money, and I think we get Turk Wharton back before I think we get Nick Bolton.
Charles,
because we have no defensive tackles. I think Omenahu's spot's going to be filled by his role is going to be filled by Felix. I think it's time for. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, he's been there. I think it's time for him to do. He's shown promise.
I think they should bring Charles.
I love the guy, but I just don't know if he'll work.
So Charles is one of those players that I feel like he's great when he's there. Mm-hmm. And the problem is for the 2-year contract that we had him, he was there 40% of the time.
So,
So the first year he had the domestic violence situation. He got suspended for the first 6 games. Okay, and he could have controlled that. You can't be hitting on the ladies like that, or whatever you did allegedly. I don't know the whole situation, but whatever.
Yeah.
Then last year he had the torn ACL.
ACL.
Yeah. He's going to be fully healthy going into the offseason. I think this will be the first year we get him for
a 1-year deal. Yeah, I would do a 1-year deal because guess what? We tried 2 years last time. The first year, your ass didn't want to play. let's. I'm not saying it was a will thing. It's more like, all right. I always thought, look. So I'm a businessman before anything. Everybody knows. I think with the business mindset, business person, they're not gonna sign that man to a deal that he probably is gonna want. That would get him where he wants to be with the team. Like the thing is about this particular team is it's not over by a long shot. I feel like, and that's one thing I want to know. Let everybody in the football world know, we can take a punch, motherfucker. Don't worry about it. We good. We on the bounce back. It's a building process to get back. Brett Beach is one of the best out there. Everybody kind of praises Howie Roseman as far as what he did with the Eagles. I commend him because he capitalized on good players in bad situations with horrible contracts and was willing to understand how the money worked for the next few years, how you can get this player, how you can get that player, how you can get that player, how you can get this player. Now you got to keep it together. And this is what we're actually dealing with. We're a pretty good example of what you kind of want to happen in a sense. Like 3 championships, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 rings, 1 flop. I mean, the flop is definitely not what you wanted, but at the same time, I feel like this is the dynasty that you kind of wanted to put together when you draft that quarterback, when you move up in the draft to get those players, and when you move heaven and earth to try to get certain players to kind of come for your franchise. Like I say, Howie Roseman and the GM for the Lions, like they took some time to build those rosters up. And the thing about the Lions is, they're not done. The crazy thing about this is they can start trading these people off and getting some of that money back. Like
they got to draft all defense, every bit of it.
But the thing is,
they need to be calling Cleveland for Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think they do.
That's not gonna happen. Not in the
Why?
North. The only reason I say that doesn't happen is one, Detroit is gonna have to break that man off some bread for him to stay in Detroit.
They have money.
Hold on. For one defensive end. Okay, so you pay him. Hold on. You pay him this year. Guess what? Aiden Hutchinson comes up in a year or 2.
Hey, man, but by that time, Myles will be gone.
Yeah, Myles is going to be gone.
Hold on. You think Myles Garrett's going to be gone? Unless they let him go. And
they'll put the cap will go up. They'll figure it. But I mean, I think though with the Chiefs, let's remind everybody. Last time we got the shit kicked out of us in the Super Bowl because of offensive line play. I think the 3 of us played in that offensive line. We won 2 championships after that. But I think that I think they go a lot younger because next they have to start thinking about re-signing McDuffie.
Yeah,
and Karlaftis. I think they
should extend McDuffie this offseason.
Yeah,
they go ahead and lock him up now because Derek Stingley's about to get paid. Sauce is probably going to get paid. Go ahead and jump on that.
Sauce for me is how much money you think Sauce is going to demand?
A lot.
But that's the thing. How much leverage do you think he has? Look, all his leverage is going to come from this year and his rookie year.
He gonna have to.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now,
but he could argue like
he's not the worst corner in the world. I'm not saying it like, oh, he don't
He's
deserve
good.
money. He's great. Like he shut down some people that I was just like, hey, it's Sauce Gardner. And you have to kind of admit that. But him playing there and him being by himself is the problem. Because DJ Reed was there. I don't think DJ Reed is gonna be there no more.
Gone. He's gone.
So they're gonna have to either draft a guy or trade for a guy or pick up somebody in the free agency, which there's not very many cornerbacks in the free agency.
Will Johnson sitting there with the Jets pick. You pair him with Sauce.
Yeah, and you got a corner as your head coach, right? That might play. You got a DB as your head coach.
Yeah.
Which never worked.
I wouldn't want to play the Jets.
Yeah, but I agree with you on McDuffie. I think they gotta do that. But anyway, gentlemen, it's been a great night of talking football. Fucking I love it. But we should wrap it up tonight. We got
I got a job, so
I gotta get to sleep. My fat ass has to get to sleep.
It was whooping my ass today. So
but
I
we thank Chris, thanks for coming. We appreciate it, man. Jesus, this was fun.
No problem, man. No problem, man. Gotta do this again.
Oh,
yeah, we will do it. We'll do it again soon. We have to have the. Remember, you came up with the idea, and I think of all the guys in the wrestling chat, we have to have a bunch of them on.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how many we can have, and we should do the round table.
Yeah, man. Talk about one of the. Maybe talk about one of these events that's coming up. Maybe Elimination Chamber or
Mania.
How about we do an Elimination Chamber? How about we do an Elimination Chamber? If we can get 6 guys in here, should we start off with the Classic 2, and then we let everybody else in the conversation with the Elimination Chamber or something like that? That'll be pretty dope.
Even if you do a post game, even if you do a post game. Elimination Chamber, what you saw, just the people, of course, the people who watch, you know what I'm saying, just come in and talk about what you felt about, give it a grade, matches and all that stuff leading into WrestleMania, and give our predictions for WrestleMania.
Guys, we could create the top 5 things you liked at Elimination Chamber, post game show. So maybe we'll do that. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks everyone. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And we're going to be out of here. Have a good one.